All right, man. Culture talk, you know what it is. How y'all doing, man? All right, man. So this is gonna be a good one. Um, I have a lot to say about this because I know a lot of people seen the thumbnail and they clicked the video because they want to know my take on Doja Cat and is she hip hop or is she rap? And I'm gonna break down the hypocrisy of all this when it comes to Doja Cat. Um, I don't really care for Doja Cat's political views. I don't really care for anybody that jumps on here and say, "Oh, well, she said this about people and she said this." I don't care for none of that. I'm just here for the art form and the music. Whatever she does politically has nothing to do with me. I don't care about that. So that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to talk about her artistic expression and what she does. So, and whether she's a rapper or hip hop. So before we get into that, I got to get a legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, you know to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content. Absolutely free, but if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you are from. So, go subscribe to Torch Talk After Hours too. So look, man, let's get to it, man. Let's do it. All right, so this comes courtesy of Rob Markman. Let's go, man. Let's see what he's talking about Doja. Let's go.
Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. This is not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. Today, we're going to tackle the question, is Doja Cat a rapper? Why are we talking about this today? Well, it's relevant because yesterday, Doja was on Twitter. She was going back and forth with a fan who claimed that Doja was being forced into rap conversations. And it's all in the lead up because Doja's about to drop her next album. I think it's called Vi. Might be pronounced V. I'm sorry if I got the pronunciation wrong. But a few days ago, she previewed a song called Jealous Type, which at least to me sounded kind of like an 80s pop record. I kind of get like Vanity 6 vibes, Prince vibes. That's just the thing that I immediately thought of. So the fan was at Plaration, all right, and wrote, hopefully after Doja drops pop disco album of the century, her fans can stop trying to force her into female rap conversations.
All right, so let me stop it right there before he go any further. Um, I definitely think that people put this um they give their perspective of what they believe hip hop and rap is, right? Or whatever. Let's be clear here. And I want y'all to understand something. Doja Cat was a rapper. She was a hip hop artist, rapper slash hip hop artist before before she became a pop star. So you got to kind of give her credit for that. You got to give her credit for that. But I'm going to tell y'all the difference between a rapper and a hip hop artist. And then I'm going to tell y'all whether people are being hypocrites when it comes to this. So let's keep it going.
The account went on and said, sorry to inform you guys, but you can't be taken seriously as a rapper without ever prioritizing punchlines, wordplay, and storytelling, the very things that make rap what it is. And then she goes on to write, she's a singer who raps sometimes. That doesn't make her a rapper. If she is a rapper, then so is Beyonce. And Doja responded to this.
That's absurd. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I think a lot of y'all, Doja Cat, her last album, I believe, was Scarlet. I think that was the last album. She rapped a good portion of that album. And I believe there's another album she rapped a good portion of the album. Scarlet, I believe she rapped a good portion of the album. I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? And then, where my demons at? Yeah, she rapped a good portion of that album. At least the singles were rap songs. You listening? Yeah, she rapped a good portion of that album. But y'all would say she's not a rapper even though she's rapping. Because y'all would try to say, well, she's not a rapper and she's rapping. There are artists who used to rap and they don't rap no more. You know what I'm saying? Do we say they're not rappers? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, I believe there was only 3 rap songs on that whole album. And she sung most of that album. Fugees, she rapped a lot off of Booth Boff. Was it with the 3 babies on the front, and then the score? She rapped a good portion of that album, but she sung a lot too. But on her album, she sung a lot. I'm talking like the majority of it. So are we going to say that she's hip hop, or are we going to say she's actually R&B, or she's a rapper? Which one is Lauryn Hill? Because I believe that Doja Cat rapped more in her career than Lauryn Hill did. Lauryn Hill was only really in tune with 3 albums. 3. Doja Cat, plenty of albums, plenty of songs she rapped on. So I'm not saying Doja Cat is better than Lauryn Hill. I'm saying that Doja Cat raps more than Lauryn Hill. In the grand scheme of things, she rapped more than Lauryn Hill. So how are we saying that Lauryn Hill is a rapper, but not Doja Cat? I don't understand that. Even if Lauryn Hill didn't rap, Doja Cat didn't rap as much as Lauryn Hill, she still rapped. And Lauryn Hill did an album where she only did 3 rap songs on the album. I believe it was 3. The rest of it was singing. So I believe that y'all be hitting people with this hypocrisy, and I'm here to expose it.
But I mean, for me, one, I try not to speak in absolute terms, right? Like words like never, or without ever is the same thing as never, right? You guys can't be taken seriously as a rapper without ever prioritizing bars, punchlines, wordplay. Like without ever, like Doja Cat has prioritized those things at times. Like we'll get into it. I have examples of it. Like, but you lose me in your argument when you speak in absolute terms most of the time, because there's nuance to everything, right? But Doja responded, defended herself. Doja didn't attack this person. Like this could have went left. We seen Doja get into it on social media with fans, but they had a lengthy back and forth, which was interesting. Doja said, "You don't listen to or read enough of my writing to be able to make this claim. I'm a writer at what I do, and sometimes I'm incredible. Please stop trying to downplay my ability. It feels like you're doling out criticism with no constructiveness based on something that's deeper than just the topic of music." Then this person responds, "It's not personal."
And that's the crazy thing too. She writes all her own music. Like, that's the crazy thing. And a lot of y'all listen to Doja Cat's popular songs, and y'all never even knew that some of y'all, I talked to some people, they never even knew that she rapped. People be like, I'll be like, how you a fan of Doja Cat and don't know she raps? Like, I don't understand that. That's stupid. Like, I don't get it.
I'm strictly talking rap. I recognize that you're the greatest pop artist of this generation, but I've never heard the punchlines or wordplay to justify the conversation they try to shoehorn you into. What's your favorite bar that you've written? Okay. I mean, so one thing here, okay, she's the greatest pop artist of this generation. I mean, debatable. I mean, Doja makes some incredible pop music, though. But, I mean, Taylor Swift, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, like, you know, it just depends on what you like, I get. So Doja says, "If I give you any bars, part of me feels like you will immediately shoot it down. What I intend with my work is for listeners to choose what they rock with and what they don't. You have to give me a chance if you're going to make criticisms about the entirety of my raps." See, that goes back to that absolute statement again, right? You have to give me a chance if you're going to make criticisms about the entirety of my raps. You have to listen. You have to read. If you don't read or listen, how will you know? I shouldn't have to sit on Twitter and give you a simplified, deconstructed, and without insulting you, dumbed down version of my writing for you to be able to hear what hundreds of thousands, and let's be honest, millions of people are recognizing as adequate rap bars. You aren't stupid. Listen to my music.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Why do I have to sit on here and let you critique my music when hundreds of thousands of people believe that I'm a rapper as well? What I find fascinating is y'all want to gatekeep certain people because y'all can't stand the fact that they can do everything. I even go as far as saying this, right? You know me, I always say Drake isn't hip hop, right? But for me to say Drake isn't a rapper, that's a reach. Even me saying Drake isn't hip hop is kind of a reach too, because people will say Drake's hip hop. My opinion, I don't think he is, but some people will say Drake's hip hop, right? But some people will say that's a reach. For me to say that Drake's not a rapper is a reach. But Drake and Doja Cat basically do the same thing. They do the same thing. Drake, most of his albums are R&B or him singing. Some Sexy Songs for You had about maybe 4 or 5 raps on there, 3 or 4 raps. Most of the album was him singing. Scorpion, most of the album's him singing. What's that? Certified Love Boy, most of the album he was singing. Most of Drake albums he sings. Most of the albums he sings. He sings much more than he raps. Let's just say that. His first album and his second album had a lot of raps, but his third, I would say, yeah, his third album had the most raps, and I think him and 21 Savage, that album had the most rap. And then what's his name? Him and Future. But outside of that, his solo albums, yeah, most of them are singing. Doja Cat sings, but are we gonna sit here and say that Doja Cat isn't hip hop or a rapper, even though Drake does the same thing? That doesn't make sense.
I agree with her here. She says, I haven't listened to your full catalog. I spent all day yesterday gagging over Jealous Type and Take Me Dancing. And I even said that your revival of disco / New Jack Swing made me a stan. But when I'm listening to rap, my frame of reference is Rakim, Jay-Z, and even Jeezy. By that metric, wordplay, punchline, bars, I just don't rate you as highly. That's not hate. It's just
Come on, man. You can't put Doja Cat in the same sentence of a ranking of a rapper as Jay-Z, Rakim, and we said Jeezy. My thing is, like, why is even Jeezy in the rankings of Jay-Z and Rakim? Jeezy's fire, don't get me wrong, but he ain't in the ranking of Jay-Z and what's the name? But you saying that Jeezy is, but I would even say Doja Cat could out-rap Jeezy. Let's be clear here. If Doja Cat was to just be a rapper, she can out-rap probably 90% of rappers. That's how good she is at rapping. Now, would it be a lot of bars? I don't know. But she can actually put words together much better than most men that I heard rapping. Most dudes. Most women too. You know what? I'll go on record and say this, man. I'll be honest with y'all. I think that Doja Cat is the best female artist right now. I think she's the best female artist right now. I don't think that there's no female artist better than Doja Cat right now. I think she's better than Doechii. I think she's better than Beyonce. I think she's better than Taylor Swift. I think she's better than Nicki. I think she's better than Cardi. I think she's better than all of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying whether she's bigger than them. I'm not saying she got more fans than them. I'm saying musically, from what I hear, the range, the aesthetic, the anything you can think of, the creativity, anything, she's better than all of them in my opinion. All of them. You know what I'm saying? I think that they're good. I think some of them are phenomenal. I just think that she's ahead of them when it comes to certain things. Visuals, anything you could think of. I think her mind is one of one. You know, I like to use that word. But I think she's better than all of them. Again, I'm not talking about record sales. I ain't talking about album sale, who's bad. I ain't talking about awards, none of that. I'm talking about creatively, she's better than all of them to me. That's just my opinion.
Difference in what I look for in rap. And then we're gonna get to the Rakim Jay-Z Jeezy thing. Then she says, "Now I understand you, and you understand me, and now I can respect what you're coming from, where you're coming from. Jay-Z is a great writer, and so is Rakim, and Jeezy, you have great taste. Thank you for opening up about that. If you listen to every single song off every single album I've made, I appreciate that. If you haven't been able to find a bar that you connect with, that's more than okay. That's your right. Thank you." And then this person wrote, "I see your frame of reference now, and I appreciate your perspective. Every snippet you've teased so far has me in the chokehold, and I meant it when I said you're about to drop the album of the century. Can't wait to see what else you have in store for this new era." I wouldn't have paid attention to these tweets. I mean, what validated these tweets is that Doja chose to go back and forth with this person, right? With this account. But my take is this. Doja raps. She's a rapper. She's a rapper. Doja raps pretty fucking well. Being a rapper is simply somebody who partakes in the act of rapping, right? Like, for example, for those of you who are old enough to go back and remember Kid Rock rap back in the day. He's a rapper. It wasn't hip hop. He didn't make hip hop music, but he rapped. So did like Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit, right? Like they rap, but it was over like rock. But so they were rappers because they rap, but it wasn't hip hop. To me, that is my take. So she's absolutely a rapper. It's no question she raps, and Doja raps really fucking well. She raps just as well as any of the top women who rap, in that category of popular. You know what I'm saying? The Nickies, the Megans, the Coi Lerais, the Lottos, you could have your favorites for sure, but Doja raps and can keep up with them girls, and some of them girls is gonna have problems keeping up with Doja. Doja could fucking rap. And I mean,
I noticed that nowadays, if somebody does something to some type of beat breaks, let's say Doja Cat, because I'll put it to you like this: beat breaks is the original rap beat. Those beat breaks is the original rap beats. I think now beat breaks now are looked at as too commercialized, and it's too how would I say, too choreographed. It's basically those beat breaks now make it sound like people are cosplaying what hip hop really is. You know what I'm saying? It's other beats now that makes hip hop what it is. But beat breaks, in my opinion, when people are not people like Nas who rap over beat breaks. I'm talking about people like Doja who raps over beat breaks. I think people look at that, or maybe what's the guy name? I can't remember his name right now. But whenever he raps over beat breaks, it feels like people are saying, from what I see, people be like, well, that's not hip hop. Even though it's a hip hop beat and it's him rapping over hip hop, well, that's not hip hop. So I think a lot of people put people in certain categories. Even if they rapping over a hip hop beat, they'll still say it's not hip hop because they go for how they feel when it comes to hip hop. For some people, hip hop is a feeling. It's not about actually who does what. You know what I'm saying? It's a feeling. Like Macklemore, right? Macklemore got plenty of raps where he rapping over hip hop beats, but people would say he's not hip hop, right? And I'm not saying Macklemore is hip hop. I'm just saying it just lends to the point that I'm making. A lot of y'all are really going for how y'all feel when it comes to this. I believe Doja Cat is hip hop. I heard Doja Cat doing stuff before she actually was a pop star, and it was hip hop to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you rapping over hip hop beats and you telling me that the person's not hip hop and they're killing it. It's not hip hop though. Huh? How's that not hip hop? Because I feel like it's not. Yeah, exactly. You feel like it's not hip hop. Doesn't mean that it's not.
rap better than a lot of men too. I don't even mean to just put her in the female category, but but the type of music that she makes is why my mind went there. But she raps better than a lot of men too. I think the real question is Doja hip hop? And that's the part that people will debate. To me, I say yes. And to me, like I said, hip hop isn't just rapping. I mean, think of Most Def. Most Def, hell of a rapper, incredible rapper, but sang when he says, he did rock music. Um, so Most Def. Think of Fonte. Think of Drake. I know I'm gonna get in the comments. People will say, "Well, Drake isn't hip hop," like, but I still put Drake in the hip hop category. I mean, Nicki has done huge pop records like Starships and things like that. Nicki is hip hop. Nicki's a rapper, still hip hop. I put Doja in the hip hop category to me, and she's absolutely a rapper. But I will admit that she makes a lot of pop music and a lot of kind of diversified sounds. But it just depends on what you're a fan of and what you value. So I'm telling you what I think, but what you think is valid too. Is about how you listen and hear and accept things, right? But the notion that she doesn't prioritize her bars, punchlines, wordplay, storytelling, boiling her value as a rapper down to what your favorite Doja bar is like unfair and a petty argument. Comparing her to Jay-Z and Rakim is unfair because those are the two of the greatest rappers of all time. And most
Yeah, that was a. I don't know how and why you would compare her to them. That was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't do that for any other artist. Why would you put her up on? I guess off of her success, but I put it to you like this: if you put Doja Cat on any record with any rapper, she's gonna hold her own. I can almost 100% guarantee that. That's a fact. She's gonna hold her own. Any you put her on any record with any rapper, doesn't matter who it is, she's gonna hold her own. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I'm gonna play a little
don't
more.
measure up. I mean that's top tier foundational, what I'm saying, influences generations. And most don't and won't measure up. Jeezy is great too, but it's just funny because you go Jay and Rakim and then Jeezy. Jeezy is a different type of rapper than Jay and Rakim. And it wasn't like Jeezy was bar heavy either. Doesn't make him any less great, but Jeezy's not giving you like crazy punchlines or anything like that. Like Jeezy is telling the story, painting this picture, um, giving you kind of the emotion in the music and stuff like that from a hustler's perspective. It's very different than what Rakim is doing, drastically different from what Rakim did and is doing, and different from what Jay is doing. So Jeezy isn't bar heavy, he isn't like punchline heavy, but to me that doesn't make Jeezy like not great or not a great rapper. So even
So I think the reason why that person, that fan said, because Jay-Z is well known, and a good pick could be, yo, she probably was in the room with somebody and said, yo, who was a good rapper that got bars that's old? And the person probably said Rakim, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that she threw Rakim in there and she threw Jeezy in there to make it, to kind of throw it off a little bit. But I don't think that the person that was behind that tweet really know anything about rap like that. I think that they just said these things because they had a gripe with people putting Doja Cat in the hip hop field. But a lot of y'all brag about rappers being pop and being commercially successful, but then y'all would claim certain rappers for being commercially successful and being pop, because pop is not really a genre; it's just popular music. But then you try to say, "Oh, this person isn't hip hop." Like I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, man. If y'all want to watch the rest, go on his page. You already know what it is. Oh man, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm about to go and grab me something to eat. It's kind of late. Taco Tuesday is over. I can't go to this one place because they be like, "Whoa, you gotta buy a meal, then get the tacos," and that's like, come on, man, what you doing? So I don't want to. Matter of fact, it's not over. I could go to this place up the street. I like tacos, but either way, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Have yourself a good evening, a good morning, or good afternoon. And yeah, man, don't be cheating on your wife. Don't cheat on your wife. I know you about to go do it. I know you about to text that girl, but don't cheat on your wife, man. She love you, man. You know what I mean? Stay with her.